5 individuals arrested for promoting Taiwan independence and making bomb threats. On the eve of the June 4th incident, Chief Executive John Lee has reminded Hong Kongers that law enforcement would target any illegal activity decisively and strictly. And Hong Kong and Macau police, along with other multinational law enforcement agencies, have arrested over 1,800 people in a joint anti-scam cooperation. Good evening, you're watching Cable News. I'm Quentin Yang. The National Security Department has arrested 5 individuals suspected of promoting Taiwanese independence and making bomb threats. Bess Learn tells us more.
According to the police, one of the suspects used a voice-changing app to call 999 on May 13th, claiming a bomb had been planted at a kite sports park. The suspect later discarded a phone near the Hong Kong waterfront, which is currently being searched by authorities. Additionally, from April 29th to May 20th, authorities received a series of emails and social media messages threatening to explode bombs at central government offices in Hong Kong. The messages also promoted Taiwanese independence and called for revoking the national security law. Police subsequently raided 4 locations yesterday and arrested 1 man and 4 women in connection with the case. No explosives were found during the searches. Chief Superintendent of Police for National Security Steve Lee said investigators are examining the suspects' motives and political affiliations, condemning their actions as a waste of police resources and a potential cause of public panic. He emphasized that Hong Kong police have the determination and capability to crack down on such crimes. Bess Learn, Cable News.
Chief Executive John Lee stressed that no matter on what day or occasion, all public events must be legal and reiterated that endangering national security is a serious crime. The remarks came as tomorrow marks the 36th anniversary of the June 4th incident. Jeremy Zhu reports.
One day before the anniversary of the incident, the Victoria Park, where annual commemorative activities had been held for decades, is hosting a 5-day hometown market carnival. Multiple police vehicles are stationed outside the park, and officers are patrolling the area. Last year, residents tried to gather at the park to light candles or use their mobile phone lights, only to be advised against it by police. Some individuals were taken away in police vehicles.
任何嘅活動都必須要符合法律要求。
Speaking to reporters before the weekly Executive Council meeting, when asked whether residents could light candles in Victoria Park and Causeway Bay to commemorate the day, the city leader reiterated that all activities must comply with the law and that law enforcement will decisively and strictly address any actions that threaten national security. Started in 1990, the June 4th candlelight vigil was first denied approval in 2020 due to COVID-19 health concerns. Following the easing of pandemic restrictions, Klansmen associations have held the hometown market in Victoria Park for 3 consecutive years in early June. Some of the hard-surfaced football pitches in Victoria Park have been cordoned off as the government announced that maintenance works will be carried out in phases from late April to late July. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
Police forces from Hong Kong and Macau have launched a joint operation with officers from 5 countries through a cross-border anti-fraud platform, arresting over 1,800 suspects in a sweeping crackdown on scams and online fraud. Jeremy Zhu reports.
From April to May, Hong Kong police joined anti-fraud forces in Singapore, South Korea, Thailand, Macau, and other jurisdictions in a coordinated strike against organized fraud networks. The operation targeted scams involving online shopping, investments, rental fraud, and fake job schemes. A total of 1,858 suspects were arrested. while over 32,000 bank accounts linked to criminal activity were frozen. Authorities successfully intercepted more than $157 million in fraudulent transactions, with SAR police alone blocking nearly $50 million. Chief Superintendent Ernest Wong of the Commercial Crime Bureau stated that fraudulent funds move extremely quickly, and this joint platform is crucial in intercepting illicit transactions more swiftly, while enhancing communication between law enforcement agencies across borders and sharing investigative techniques. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
Police confirmed the suspect in yesterday's armed robbery at a Hang Seng Bank branch in Shatin has fled Hong Kong and escaped to mainland, following a high-profile raid by elite tactical officers that failed to apprehend him. In a late-night operation, the Police Special Duties Unit, the Flying Tigers, stormed a residential building in City 1 Shatin Estate, roughly 400 meters from the crime scene, after intelligence suggested the suspect, a 49-year-old local man, was hiding there. The search ended without success, as the force later confirmed the suspect had already left the city. The robbery occurred around 5 p.m. yesterday at the bank inside Fortune City 1 shopping center. A masked man held a 20-centimeter-long kitchen knife to the neck of a female teller and forced her to retrieve a total of $370,000 in Chinese yuan. He then fled the scene and remains at large. The case, classified as robbery, is now being handled by the New Territories South Regional Crime Unit. Authorities are coordinating with mainland counterparts to track down the fugitive. Voting in South Korea closed just over an hour ago, but people turned out in record numbers to cast their ballots in a snap election, which was triggered by former President Yoon Suk-yeol's impeachment following his botched attempt to briefly impose martial law in the country. There was a constant flow of voters at polling stations, which opened at 6 a.m. today. Nearly 34% of the 44 million eligible voters cast their ballots in early voting, which was conducted over 2 days last week. The overall voter turnout was 76% as of 6 p.m. local time. Divided politically and socially, this election is expected to further polarize South Korea. Liberal frontrunner Lee Jae-myung of the Democratic Party has advocated using fiscal policy to support the economy. In an earlier opinion poll, Lee had 49% of public support. His rival, 73-year-old Kim Moon-soo of the People Power Party, failed to convince other conservative rivals to drop out of the race and back him to improve his chances. Many South Korean voters consider economic recovery and revitalization as the top priority for the next president. Results are expected within the next few hours. Trade tensions between the United States and China could possibly simmer down after officials in Washington confirmed that U.S. President Donald Trump is likely to speak with President Xi Jinping sometime this week.
I can confirm that the two leaders will likely talk this week. And as always, when there are foreign leader calls, we will provide a readout of those calls. So we'll see you guys later. Thank you.
However, Foreign Ministry spokesman Lin Jian said he had no information to provide. The prospect of a call between the two leaders comes as a relief after trade tensions further intensified last week, when both sides accused each other of violating the agreement reached during talks in the Swiss city of Geneva last month. Trump and Xi have not had any direct talks since the U.S. president took office in January. Meanwhile, America's other trading partners have until Thursday Hong Kong time to provide Washington their best offer on trade negotiations. At least a dozen nations, including Japan, Vietnam, and India, will have to submit their best proposals for the quota and purchase of U.S. industrial and agricultural products. The latest round of talks between Russia and Ukraine in the Turkish city of Istanbul failed to achieve any conclusive outcome. In a meeting which lasted just over an hour, both sides agreed to exchange over 1,000 prisoners of the war, along with bodies of those killed in action. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said his greatest wish was to bring the leaders of Russia and Ukraine together for a meeting, along with U.S. President Donald Trump to end Moscow's 3-year-old conflict with Kyiv. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky supported the proposal of the Turkish leader, saying a ceasefire won't happen without such a meeting. Prospects of a truce deal remain distant. The lack of progress has frustrated Trump. The second round of talks went ahead despite Ukraine launching a devastating drone assault on Russian air bases, damaging over 40 aircrafts. Now let's take a look at the stock market. The Hang Seng Index ended the day up 354 points. Top active stocks of the day: Xiaomi was up $1.60. BYD was up $15.20. Alibaba was up 70 cents, and Meituan was up 90 cents. Mainland's factory activity in May shrank at its fastest pace since September 2022, a private survey showed, as a sharper decline in new export orders highlighted the impact of prohibitive U.S. tariffs. The Caixin Manufacturing Purchasing Managers Index came in at 48.3, missing median forecast of 50.6 and dropping sharply from 50.4 in April. It fell below 50, the mark that separates growth from contraction, for the first time since September last year. The decline in foreign demand accelerated in May, with the gauge for new export orders falling to its lowest level since July 2023. Total new orders, an indicator of overall demand, also contracted for the first time in 8 months. Uncertainty in the external trade environment has increased, adding to domestic economic headwinds, the index compiler noted, adding that major macroeconomic indicators showed a marked weakening at the start of the second quarter. On to the weather now. Mainly cloudy with a few showers and isolated thunderstorms tomorrow. Temperatures will range between 26 and 29 degrees. Expect similar conditions over the following couple of days. And that's our news tonight. I'm Quentin Yan. Thank you for watching. Good night.